Hey y'all, it's your sugar here, and y'all know what time it is. 7:30 on a Wednesday night or Wednesday evening, and we all in together now, meeting up to talk about women's boxing on the Sugar Show. Thank you guys for joining, whoever is here tonight. Um, and I do expect more people, more bodies, more places, more faces in the place. Hey, Mike. Mike is joining in. Uh, the party's going to start soon. The party's getting started. It has started. Me and Mike, you know that's a good time. You know that's a vibe. So, yes, it's 7:30. It's the Sugar Show, and we going to talk the talk. Now, I don't know how long this talk is going to be tonight, but I think, tonight's subject, fly by night fame, it's a pun on the words. Um, Before I get into that, let me reintroduce myself to those who are new to the show, because I know I got my true always stopping in. I am Natalie Sugar Brown. I am and have been uh, an elite female pugilist um, in the boxing game, in women's boxing. And this is my platform, this is my show, giving back the authentic stories, the authentic breakdown of what it is in the world of women's boxing. So, my name is Sugar, but ain't no sugar coating here. Like my buddy Eddie would say to me, and he'll definitely be on the show one day. But yes, here we are. We talking about fly by night fame, and the fly by night fame meaning the news here in women's boxing. The hot news is not these fights coming up, but some hot news coming about Sinicia Estrada. She's a baddie out here. She is on Sugar's pound for pound uh, best female baddie out here list. And the tea is she just recently parted ways with her promoter, Golden Boy. Now, do I have some images on my uh, uh okay, so my lovely assistant has prepared some eye candy, some visuals here. And you guys listening, y'all always know I try my best to describe the baddie, describe the lady here. So we have Sinicia Estrada, and my guys with the numbers is coming. So can my guys with the numbers give me the breakdown? Can y'all give me the numbers on this baddie here on the screen? She is on my pound for pound list because yes, this broad can fight. Okay, she can bang, she can box. She got that tenacity. She got that sauce in there. Now, she she, she ain't been 100. Like she had a fight that wasn't 100 that I did talk about, but we not going. I mean, that is a blemish on her record, even though I think she's like 22-0 right now. She has a blemish on her record, and I call it a blemish because it was a horrible mismatch where she came out and she knocked a girl, and I'm not going to call this fighter a girl, but she knocked another fighter out. Y'all give me her name. Uh, I, yes, so she's 22-0. Vinny's in the building. And Vinny's on the show, on the platform. So me, Mike, and Vinny, we having a party now. Vinny chimes in with she's 22-0 with 9 KOs. One of those KOs is a horrible mismatch. And come on, my guys, find me that name, because y'all know Sugar is bad with names, but I know the T, and I know what happened now. She She knocked out Maria Michio in 7 seconds. No, not Maria Miko. Miranda Atkins. Sorry. So she knocked out Miranda Atkins in 7 seconds and thought her ass was going to be some kind of record holder for doing that. That garbage, for knocking out this. I'm not going to diss Miranda, but she knows she realized the hard way what she signed up for. She knew she was in no way prepared or ready, or that gal, to be stepping through them ropes with a killer like Sinicia Estrada. So Mike chimes in, complete mismatch. Phew. It If you was to look up mismatch in the dictionary, this would be a definite example of that. So yes, that was a mismatch. They was trying to do something and prove something uh, with making this 7 second knockout a thing, but it ain't no thing. It is a blemish on Sinisia's record, and I'm gonna always call you for it, girl. I listen. I think you're bad. I think you're tough. I think you're super bad, right? I'm Miss Too Bad, and you super bad. But let me tell you something. That what you did wasn't bad. What was bad on a completely next level. That was some bull jive. Now, um, Michael comes in arguably saying that uh Miranda came in at 5-0. But what was Sinisia's record coming in? Um and Mike also says, like, who made that match? You already know who the stalkers are, who the uh scumbags are, which are these matchmakers that are in some of these broads teams, right? Uh as a matchmaker, you're supposed to match the fighter with fighters who are comparable skill wise and uh, will test your fighter enough for them to grow legitimately and for them to gain good experience in extending themselves, right? So these matches will all should and will always be a test of, showing the world that yes, this fighter is that broad. Yes, she's bad, and not bad in a uh, bullshit way, bad in a legitimate way, right? Because I always say this, and I got this from some greats that have trained me, right? Check Day Record, Johnny Gant, Jerome Coffey, like I can't even name them all, but those two used to say this for sure. You're only as good as your opposition. So these girls or these broads out here that's padding up their record with tomato cans and all of that stuff. At the end of the day, your record is going to show that all you fight is tomato cans. So guess what? You a tomato can too. You got to have some killers on your record. You got to fight some names. You got to share the spotlight. You got to bring another broad up with you, okay, in this game. These these fighters, these female fighters, are caught up in that old school dinosaur mentality that Christy Martin and them had, where I must be the queen and I must be the only female boxer in the world. That's not how you make money. That's not how we bring money to the industry, right? You got to have several baddies for longevity. You got to have somebody to fight. You got to have somebody that people want to see you fight, right? It's not about you with your little raggedy drawers up there. After a while, we get tired of you. We get tired of seeing y'all. Yeah, y'all ain't that hot, and a lot of y'all ain't that cute, right? So we want to see y'all fight legit people, because in winning and in losing in women's boxing, it's really not about the record, because we got some baddies out here with some ugly records, but they can fight. And the record is ugly because they have been robbed, they have been done in by the industry. That them shenanigans are real in women's boxing, because no one checks our receipts, right? We got to check each other's receipts. Our fans, you guys out here that chime in, that are interested, I want y'all to start checking receipts. Check Sugar's receipts. I may not have had. I'm gonna admit, I a lot of my stuff is underground. A lot of legitimacy on my name is from underground, because at getting a sanctioned fight from these broads that were in place, they weren't trying to give Sugar that shot. They weren't trying to share the spotlight. They weren't trying to um they weren't trying to share the wealth with another baddie, right? So we a lot of us stayed underground. So check my record though. I always gave another baddie a chance, and I always stepped up. Okay, and that's why I can talk the way I talk, and that's why I say what I say, and that's why I said what I said. Mike chimes in. For real, we ain't here to play boxing. Whoever ever thought boxing was for play? Right, Mike? That's something that um it ain't even to be considered. Boxing, you don't play. Somebody trying to take your head off. Somebody's been training and running for months, punching a bag, pretending that that bag is you for rounds, minutes, hours, months. You think that's a plaything? You think that's for play? Anyway, we talking about Shanicia Estrada. So we talked about your blemish, and I'm always had to check you on that, girl. But girl, what happened between you and Oscar and them, and Golden Boy and them? You one of the baddest broads in the world right now. You got that green belt and I think the IBF on your shoulder. Girl, you the girl right now. You're the broad right now at your weight. I believe she rallies between minimum weight and super flyweight. So like she's got some depth range there. Okay. So minimum weight, I believe, is something like 100 pounds, right on up to super flyweight, which is I think is something like 112 pounds. My guys, my number guys, I'm gonna need y'all to come in and confirm some of these facts, right? So this baddie is like, she's hot right now. She just got dropped by her promoter. Okay, so the host coming in, she fought between 100 and 108 pounds. How many pounds were, what was the weight of her and Marla Esparza when they fought? Because that was a great fight. Two, I'll call Marla a baddie. She blown up, but she a baddie. Um, so Marla Esparza and Sinisia Estrada fought at 111 pounds, which is a bit over, which is up there. I think that's super fly weight. I think. I think that's them numbers right there. So she's going up. But let me tell you the science about boxing, especially women's boxing. There are weight classes, and we got weight classes that range from pin weight, or I think atom weight, which is like 90 something pounds, right on up to 200 plus pounds, super heavyweight. But in that range, there are weight classes that are more popular, that have more and deeper depth of competition than others, right? So I've said this in previous shows where some fighters run to weaker divisions meaning the division may not have uh, uh, strong opposition in that division. So they go in that division, they run and they go there and they collect all the belts and they say, I am champion. I'm the champion of this weight class. But girl, come on now. You ain't fighting, ain't nobody, ain't no monsters in that division, ain't no baddies in that division. Not to disrespect any of my ladies in boxing, but we got to call a thing now. Okay, some of these weight divisions are like some some waters got some more sharks than others. Okay, so in this range of division now, lovely assistant, can you change and let's see what with the other image. Well, throw me another. Oh, there he go. There he go. Oscar de la Hoya. So that's the face of Golden Boy. He is a former Olympic gold medalist, former professional world champion, Oscar de la Hoya. So he knows, I mean, he's going turned promoter now. So he knows the game. He's walked the path, like literally. Okay, so he's up here with the other name promoters who were not fighters. So he has a bit more skin in the game, I would say, than some of the like a Eddie Hearn, right? Eddie Hearn is a guy that he's a businessman who has become a boxing promoter. So I mean, there and guess what? There's gonna be many more. There's gonna be women fighters that become promoters, and probably are. I mean, Christy Martin is doing that um, already. Michael chimes in. That's a nice picture of Sniffany. Sniffany, what is that? You got to tell me, Mike. You got to tell me what's Sniffany uh means, right? Because I know Oscar been caught. I know Oscar been caught in some pickles out here. Like I know we've caught him in fish nets and all that good stuff. I know we've caught him doing some really you know funny stuff out here. And I ain't gonna judge the man, right? Because guess what we do when we not on stage, and what we do outside the ring, what we do behind closed doors is what we do. Okay, sugar laces those boots up past her knees. And you know, sometimes it's a fun time, right? So I'm not going to judge, but when you get caught out there, you got to become accountable for what you caught, what you caught doing. Okay, so Oscar now, Oscar De La Hoya is the face of Golden Boy Promotions, and he dropped the baddie, um, Shanizia, and they're saying that it's due to irreconcilable differences. So, I mean, that could be a number of things, right? But at the end of the day, okay, Sunisia done got kicked out. She ain't got no home no more. She doesn't have a promoter. So, my guys in the background, can you look up? Now, I should have, I mean, I know the number, but I want y'all to look it up for that. Let's make it fun. Let's make the party fun. Tell me what Sinesia Estrada's value is, net worth is right now. Somebody find me that number, okay? So she's kicked out, and everybody's talking about, ooh, she's a hot commodity. This is what's going. This is what going back to what I said previously about weight divisions and who's hot and where the sharks are and all of that stuff. Sinesia's weight division is hot, but it ain't global hot. Sinesia's weight division is hot in the Southern American region, continental America's region, like Mexico, the Latin American uh, countries, um, uh, the Asian countries like Thailand and I believe Japan and China. Those countries that most of the women that are walking around are tinier. Okay, and I'm going to say that. Okay, so Vinny Bingo, you came in first with it. You came in. Oh, Michael said it, and Vinny came in at the same time. Uh, she's worth up to $1.5 million. Sinesia Estrada. That's her net worth. Okay, so now she got kicked out from her promotion stable, and she's got to make a decision now. Everybody's saying that she's a hot commodity and anybody would pick her up and, like, get her while she's a free agent. Nope. This is really concerning um for Sinesia and her team. And I would say for me, because I think she was giving us a great run under under the guise of Golden Boy Promotions, putting her on such a grand platform, because they promote some huge cards, and they've got some big name guys. Who's that? Who's the nowadays pretty boy, golden boy? What's his name? Is his last name Garcia or something? He's the one with the mental health issues. The poor baby. He can fight, but he said he stepped out. Ryan Garcia, right? Poor babies. But sometimes he got mental health issues, and he got Cry Me a River. Ryan Garcia, cry me a mofo river, because guess what? You ain't got, yeah, you got problems, and guess what? I respect your problems, but you in a lot better position than many of us out here, right? And you are on a seat, or yeah, you're sitting on a seat or standing on a spot that don't don't nobody want to hear that you got mental health issues. You're supposed to be a fighter. You're supposed to be a champion. Just like Timmy said, our guy Tim Witherspoon said, there's no excuses. You got to be ready at all times. There's no excuse. You and I think Anthony Joshua, y'all trying to come in with that soft stuff. No. You fight even when you going through shit. Because guess what? That's what champions do. That's what champions do. Now, I'm not saying that we win. We don't always win, but we fight. And we don't cry about mental health issues, because we standing on that square. We get help and we get support, but we don't cry about that. Now, Michael Orr comes in and says, Marlena Esparza net worth list as $400,000 which is a more realistic number. That's a more realistic number for a lot of these broads out here. There's no female $1 million fighter. They lying to y'all. It's a lie. The only one that may be able to claim $1 million status is Clarissa Shields. Because when you got 2 gold medals in your pocket, you are, you've done a lot more than some men who are making millions of dollars in boxing. So she could claim that, and she could try to go and get that, right? If she's marketed correctly, and like I said, if she has opposition that make people interested enough to make her that $1 million fighter. But there's not enough women out here, female fighters, that are interesting enough to be $1 million female fighters. Y'all talk about Katie Taylor. No. It's now getting boring to watch a track star boxer. Amanda Serrano, she was not interesting enough to get another $1 million spotlight, even though her and Jake Paul, yeah, Jake Paul is fighting Rodman's son soon. Like, he's not even fighting like real legitimate ranked fighters, right? So that's a total different thing. Like, that is, it's starting to become sideshow entertainment levels now. That's not real boxing. Michael Orr comes in. Bun excuses, we only embrace solutions. That's right, bun the excuses. Yeah, man, we gotta get rid of that, right? When man a real bad man, we don't have excuses. Mike bringing my little Jamaicanness out. I like that, Mike. Mike also comes in. I'm sure each gold medal is worth at least $1 million in endorsements. Now we gotta say, we gotta call a thing too, Mike. A gold medal should have got her on the Wheaties bottle. I mean, sorry, on a Wheaties box. And y'all know what Wheaties mean, right? Because even what's his name, Jenner, was on a Wheaties box when he was a he. Now he's a she, but I mean, that's a total different thing. But he, like, his name's strong. We still got to put that respect on Jenner's name, because he was on a Wheaties cereal box. That's how old I am. I remember that. All the great athletes made it onto a Wheaties cereal box, right? Michael Orr comes in. I'm going to have to start writing in patois. Shoot. Yes, sir. Listen, we bilingual here. And if we not going to be bilingual, we going to try the lingual. Right? Listen, some of the audience might be a little Jamaican, right? And I want us to be able to dialogue on them the levels too. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it, Mike. Mike got a little he Mike's Canadian, and he got a little Jamaican in him too. Me likes. You got a little spice and seasoning. But back to the subject. Okay, so Synesia got dropped. Okay, and we talking about that. We talking about how that, yes, she is not like uh does my lovely assistant have another image that I might be able to elaborate this? Okay, so I um hey, Omar comes in. Wheaties box equals that guy. You damn Skippy, right? That Wheaties box makes you that guy or that gal, legit. So I mean, like Mike said, each gold medal should be worth at least $1 million. But I mean, it's still on that level, Mike. Muhammad Ali said this. when he came back, I think he came back from Rome. He was the Olympic gold medalist and couldn't even sit properly in a uh shop in a ice cream shop, right? He still came back to face segregation. He still came back to face a lot of the bull crap. So Clarissa Shields, even though she's two-time gold medalist, she's still facing a lot of crap and bull crap. She's still facing a lot of sexism, racism, uh, um, a lot of these things that plague our industry. Okay, she's tried to speak, she's tried speaking up about it several times, but I think now she's just tired, right? She realizes that the GWAT, in order for you to take on that fight, you got to have people on your team, and enough people liking you. You got to have your fellow female fighters loving and liking you to support you on that movement. And she ain't got too many fans in her peers to carry on that movement. So as much truth as she's spitting, she's not getting the support she needs to voice these issues that many of us face and that are very real in the industry of boxing, especially women's boxing. So Senicia Estrada is in this image here holding the WBC belt, that green belt. And marketing wise, legitimacy wise, like on a whole, I gotta say, this green belt means a lot. Everybody's after the green belt. If you have that green belt, you're that you're that guy or you're that gal, okay? Um, so Michael Orr's laughing at Omar's Johnson saying Wheaties box equals that guy. Um, so yeah, she's sporting her, she's sporting that hardware, which she legitimately deserves. Like she is the baddie in that, I would say, that division, ranging from 108 pounds all the way, I mean, from 100 pounds all the way up to 111, 12 pounds. Okay, lovely assistant, is there any other images? So, this was, I mentioned this before because this was uh, the image now for my people listening in is the poster of the fight that was promoted by Golden Boy. And I'm gonna break this poster down to y'all, between Marlon Esparza and Senicia Estrada. Now, I think Marlon Esparza is an Olympic bronze medalist. If I'm to if I'm if I'm not to be mistaken. Okay, so a bronze medalist is still worth a lot, but yet her value is only $400,000, her net worth. And Shanicia somehow, I just don't know how, but somehow Shanicia Estrada is worth 1 point, what, 5 million? That make no sense. That don't make no sense. Right? I gotta quote my NBA young boy. Don't make no sense. All right. Um, what you call it? So this poster here is Golden Boy's promotion of, he owns or he promotes both of these gals, both of these ladies, both of these baddies. So he wins regardless, right? They're both selling tickets. They both have fans. They both have people who are interested in this matchup. Okay. So this happened, I believe, sometime last year. Uh, my number guys, come in, come on, confirm my receipts. Come on now, we a team. Okay, so I think this happened sometime in November of last year, and it was a great fight where I believe Marlon Marlon Esparza got stopped by Sinise Estrada in the ninth round. Okay, I think, yeah, she got stopped because she had just got she was getting beat up so badly, and she was bleeding badly. So after this fight, there hadn't been, because Nicola Adams is not in. She's retired due to injury. I think she had her she tore her retina. So Nicola Adams would have been that gal in this weight division. Um she she was y'all, come on now, come with the receipts. Nicola Adams was promoted by one of the older school um promoters that had time in the game, and she did not enjoy being his fighter at all. um Come on. Oh, Tony's review. Tony, you came on time tonight, thank you. So Tony's reviews is coming in. Not He says Brent comes in with the facts. Knockouts: Estrada has stopped 7 out of her 10 last opponents. Shields, while being a good boxer, isn't fan friendly. Boxing popularity doesn't always go hand in hand with boxing abilities. You're absolutely right, right? Which is what I've said before about women's boxing. In women's boxing, it's really not about the skill, and it's not about their boxing ability. It's about if you like the gal or not. Do you like her or don't you like her? Really. And then styles make fights. So a gal can come in with a ugly style. Okay, many gals out there got ugly, sloppy styles, but they win. And they win because, maybe they win because of their promoters, and maybe they win it because, they're fighting low grade opposition. But the promoters are banking on the fact that people like to see these gals get in the ring and behave badly. But what I want, or what I think what the fans want is, um we want these women who are, who are liked and who are names to step up and fight other women with great style and abilities too. We want to see them extend themselves and be great, and and evolve, right? So, you can't go in there with tomato cans, women that you go and beat from post to post. Go in there with a killer and show the world and show her that, yes, you a killer, but guess what? I'm a better killer. I'm a bigger killer, right? I'm a bigger problem, right? Um but I am a child of the Wu-Tang Clan, right? And one of my favorite guys out of the Wu-Tang is Old Dirty Bastard. And Old Dirty used to say, a problem got a problem till it's solved, right? So I'm a problem. You think you're a problem? I'm a problem too. So if you got a problem got a problem. Y'all got to figure that out. That's crazy talk. But yeah, I used to hit the bag. That right there used to get me hype when he used to say that. A problem got a problem till it's solved, right? So we both problems in here, but there's going to be one solution to a problem, and we're going to see who got the solution to the problem. So Tony's reviews comes in and says, women boxers need 3-minute 12-round fights. There isn't enough time on the clock for most female fighters to truly shine. I'm going to say this, Tony. There isn't, we have not pooled enough talent. A lot of these women don't know how to fight 3-minute rounds. So a lot And women's boxing right now has been cultivated for 2-minute rounds. You would not, Katie Taylor would not be a pound for pound great fighter right now if she had to fight 3-minute rounds. If she had to go 12 rounds at 3 minutes each round, right? Because you will have to stand and fight. There's no pity pads, right? So a lot of these women with the ugly records would then, that cream would rise to the top. The UFC is 5-minute rounds. Tony's reviews comes in. The UFC is 5-minute rounds. There was zero talent in MMA for females. However, the 5 minutes allows them to get the KOs like the men. I'm going to say this, okay? First off, you can't compare UFC female fighters to female boxers. That's apples and oranges. Okay? MMA guys could barely, to me, and I said it and I'm saying it, they could barely fight. Okay? They going to roll around and wrestle, and they going, they going to put your head down here in my crotch and all of that stuff, right? For 5 minutes. Okay? We can make love for 5 minutes, but to stand in a boxing ring, right? And go blow for blow with somebody at 3 minutes, right? Is a different game. UFC fighters can't even do that. UFC fighters cannot stand up and fight each other for 5 minutes. Right? I hate when people compare us because there's no comparison. Right? Boxing has been around for centuries, right? And UFC in its form or whatever has been around in different ways, but we, you got to put more respect on our names. Fighters go in that, boxers go in that octagon and play that game where you could roll around and clip, but not many MMA people step into the square with us. And you got to think about why, right? Because boxing isn't just going in there and hitting and holding, and right? There is a true method to that madness. There's a true thought process to how you going to dismantle the person in front of you. Now, Tony's reviews comes in. It's not about comparing boxing to MMA fighters. It's about time. The females are given the same amount of time. So they have no, the females are given the same amount of time. So they have like type performances. Women boxers do not get the same amount of time. Once again, Tony, I'm going to tell you this. The talent pool between women MMA fighters and male MMA fighters are comparable. Female MMA fighters are just as talented as male MMA fighters. The talent pool now of female boxers compared to male boxers is a significant difference. There's not enough females out here that can perform at the level of the males to warrant the same time. Since it's about time. Okay? I hear what you're saying. Okay? And listen, I was and am a 3-minute fighter. So is Layla McCarter. So is Sinisia Estrada. So is, I can say, Clarissa Shields. But who are they going to fight at the 3 minutes? There's not enough comparable or interesting talent for these women to come together and generate the same amount of interest and money for it to make sense. That's what I'm saying, right? I totally agree. Women need to start fighting 3-minute rounds. Women were, I came up fighting 3-minute rounds as an amateur, and it changed. I don't know why it changed, right? It shouldn't have changed since then, right? Because we would have been in a total different place now if women had continued fighting 3-minute rounds. But we were cultivated, women, the women's boxing game, women didn't fight for that right. Women allowed that change, right? So now we're in the position where these women, these champions out here, all they got to do is go out there and bullshit for a minute and survive for another minute, and then they get to go back to the corner and recover for another minute, right? Junior amateur boxers do that, right? Not even like the males are I don't think, I think the males are fighting 2-minute rounds now too in amateur boxing, but they know they've got to step up once they become pro. There's no stepping up when a female turns pro. She's still fighting the damn 2 minutes. And so she's not extending herself talent wise, right? And the game is not, she, like you said, Tony, they're not given enough time for the talent to now rise to the level as the men. We still getting chokehold out here. I don't see I don't see when it'll ever change because of this. There's not enough women interesting enough for the fans to want to see them fight 3 minutes. Layla McCarter, she stepped out of the she's fought 3-minute rounds in agreement with some of her other opponents, and I commend her on that. I think, Tony, I like what you're saying, and I think we should challenge these women out here, right? That if you're going to send a contract to your opponent, send a contract to agree on 3-minute rounds, right? So, yes, I will fight you, but we're going to fight 3-minute rounds. And we're going to fight. I don't think women are allowed to fight past 10 rounds, but let's fight 10 rounds at 3 minutes each. And you'll see which broads out here got the heart to do it and which broads out here got their hearts pumping that cherry Kool-Aid, right? Because that's really stepping up. I like that you mentioned that, Tony, right? It's all in the contract, though. It's all about the contract and the agreements. It's easy for women to fight 3-minute rounds. All we got to do is agree. All we got to do is agree on it, right? If a broad sends me a contract and it says 8 3-minute rounds, sign on the dotted line. It's a contract, right? So it's a bullshit game that the promoters and the fighters play. If we want to fight 3-minute rounds, we can. It's not illegal for women to fight or box 3-minute rounds. All right, so moving on. Lovely assistant, do you have another image? Thanks, Tony, for chiming in, and I like that you brought up that topic. So the images here, Senicia Estrada look like she's about to put her hands like in they're in each other's faces at that press conference. So people were interested in Senicia Estrada versus Marla Esparza because there was background beef from the amateurs, and it was like a school. It was like a school thing, two girls don't like each other, and they're going to scrap in the playground. They're going to scrap at the parking lot. That's what it was. That was the air of this fight, and Golden Boy made some good money from this matchup. But after that, no one was interested. Ain't nobody interested. All right, Marla ain't busting a grape. She ain't knocking nobody out. Her KO percentage is something like what? I think 8% or something like that. Y'all come with the numbers. She ain't busting a grape, and she ain't a track star. She ain't running. She ain't doing it like Katie Taylor. So, we lost interest and momentum there. That's why, her value, they put her value down there at 400,000. Sinisia Estrada, though, she can fight. She's smart. She can set things up. She can make people look real mediocre and remedial in that ring because her boxing IQ is up there. But guess what? Unless she brings or goes down to Mexico and fight some of them monsters down there, or bring some of them monsters up here and promote them and share the square, we're not going to be interested in seeing Shanicia Estrada fight anybody, right? We like the girl, but who is she going to fight? There's nobody else interesting enough for us to watch her fight that we know of, right? Now there's a fighter out there, lovely assistant. Is there another image that you can share? There's another fighter out there, called This Is the Girl, and she's a cutie, cute girl. Um, she looks in like she's in great shape, great body. She looked like a fighter, like a female fighter, and she operates like one too. Her name is Yocasta Valle, right? Valle. So Yocasta is calling out Shanicia and Marla, right? She's out in Nicaragua. She's from Nicaragua. She's fighting out of Costa Rica. And let me tell you something. Y'all sleeping on Costa Rica. Costa Rica got some baddies over there. Oksana Castillo is a baddie. She fights at heavyweight now, but she used to fight at super middleweight. She would have gave Carissa problems. I said it. I hope she lose weight and come back down. She got robbed so much. She got robbed by, and she got robbed of. They used her as an opponent, and she got robbed of so many opportunities and decisions that I think she just lost her fire. And so now, she's rallying at heavyweight. But Oksana Castillo was somebody that would have been interesting for Clarissa Shields to fight. There's another female out here, um, that she no longer fights. She was out of France, super middleweight. And Sophie Mathis would have been great, but she aged out. She's a crone. I would have loved to seen Anne Sophie Mathis fight Clarissa Shields. We talking about flyweights now, but that would have been a great matchup, right? Um, but yes, Yocasta Valle, 25 wins, 2 losses. Um, she got the numbers and she can operate well in there. And she's promoted by Golden Boy. So I mean, Golden Boy looked like he's collecting all of these minimum weight small girls, and he's getting the money from that weight division. Omar chimes in. Boxing is both a sport and art. Therefore, it is hard to watch when it's not done at a high level. I agree. Unlike UFC, which is constant chaos and action, which gives its viewers instant gratification. Yes, I do agree that UFC, MMA is a bit more exciting than boxing. Boxing is something where you have to know and understand the strategy and the science of what you're looking at. UFC is plain and simple. It's get down and dirty, and like you seeing it, a fight in its raw form, right? There's skill to that too. I'm not taking that away because what they call him, the airbender or whatever, he's great. He's very entertaining to watch. um what's his name? Y'all know I'm bad with names. Asada. What's the Airbender? He's great, but like I'm still like I'm not going to give him all that credit because he tried to throw shade at my sport where he said something to the effect of Clarissa Shields stepping up to real fighting because Clarissa Shields does MMA too. No, boo boo, it's the other way around. Bring your little badass to a boxing ring and see how well you do. See how much air you bend in a boxing ring. Okay? Right? Y'all MMA people talk a lot of junk, right? You got us coming to we as fighters and as boxers, we will try your game, but not many of y'all want to try our game. Why is that? Israel Adesanya. Yes. Israel Adesanya. Right? I gave you some plug on my platform. Airbender. Yeah, but I'm throwing shade at you as well, right? You're entertaining, but until you come to a boxing ring, you ain't that guy. So next, so the Yocasta Valier is she's a baddie coming up. 25 wins, 2 losses. I like the fact that she got 2 blemishes on her record. 2 losses. That's showing you that she just might be real. Okay? I don't know if it's padded, if I hadn't done the research just yet. But I like that she's calling out these big girls and she said, I will fight y'all anywhere. She said, I will fight you in your backyard, in your mammy kitchen. I will go to Texas. I will go to California. Okay? Just let me in the dance. I want to dance with you 2 ladies. But I haven't heard anything like, these ladies play games. They haven't taken her up on her offer. But she's standing in their yard. She's coming up on their porch. Now, Tony's reviews. Thanks, Tony, for coming. Tony, come back in. I love talking to you tonight. Tony's reviews coming in. I mean, to be honest, boxing, IMO, sorry, I'm still kind of old. I don't know what IMO mean, is more skillful, but it doesn't translate well into a real fight. I was 32-0 in amateur boxing. However, I'm a big dude, so I will scoop someone in the streets before boxing. I mean, like I said, Tony, style makes fights. And guess what? My boxing translate into these streets, my friend. I've slumped some broads out here in the Kroger parking lot, in the Walmart. I've slumped some dudes using my boxing skill, right? So I ain't going to scoop, I ain't going to roll around, I ain't going to do that, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm a sniper. I know where to hit you. I know how to make your knees buckle. I know how to make the room spin. I'm a human butcher. I'll do things to the average person because I'm a boxer. I know where to hit you to your body that'll make you fold over, right? So, styles make fights. I'm a boxer, right? And I've been taught by gladiators to be the type of um, fighter, boxer, puncher, banger that can, like I said, dissect and break a human being down, um, butcher somebody else. So it works for me in the streets too. Now, listen, y'all, some of y'all out there, when y'all see Sugar, don't try your luck. I'm a lover, not a fighter. We can have fun, right? But if I have to, I'll cut you up, dust you down, fry you up, okay? And make a meal out of you. Mm? I'll put you on that grill, barbecue chicken. Tony Refuse comes back in saying boxing limits what you can use. MMA is a free for all in all attributes. Now, I I agree where MMA allows, because the rules in MMA is it's mixed martial arts. So you're applying different styles, different genres. It's a fruit punch, okay? Where boxing is a discipline. You're going to hit, well, I said, and I learned this from B Hop too. I was a young amateur, and B Hop came. He fought another great fighter, Robert Allen, who came up in my kitchen. And B Hop was a known cheater at the time. But um, I was talking to B Hop as a young amateur girl, and he was a nice guy. And he said, "Let me tell you something, sweetheart." He said, "Y- everything, everything's allowed in boxing. It's just not allowed when you get caught doing it." And it opened up a whole other world and perspective to me, because it is true. All's fair in a fight, right? You only get it's you only get caught. Oh, Miss Scott comes in. Hey, Sugar. Hey, Miss Scott. I was wondering if I was going to see you tonight. Um, yeah, you're only cheating when you get caught in boxing, right? I could tell you some fights where it looked clean, but I was getting choked. I was getting glove rashed. I was getting pressed. The referee was elbowing me because he was working for the other fighter, right? It's not fair in there. It's not clean. You got to be very creative to stick to the discipline of what that fight of what the boxing is, what boxing is. I've been hit in my kidney. I've been hit behind the back of my head. I've been headbutted, right? And that there's creativity in delivering those too, Tony. Now, Tony also comes in and says, "Yeah, but you saw with Shields, she got beat by a nobody in MMA." In my opinion. Thanks for clearing that up, Tony. So, boxing is a lot harder to be successful, but MMA allows you to use your full capabilities. We can always agree. I agree with you, Tony. That's why I say boxing, your IQ has to be a little bit deeper in boxing, because you have to stick within the discipline and you have to find a way, right, to execute these things that are not a part of the rules into the fight. You have to perform and make it look clean. You have to perform and make it look like, yeah, I'm following the rules. I'm doing this. It's a performance. MMA is just that what it is, right? They're not performing in MMA. They're not. They're fighting. They're actually it's right? Boxing is a fight performance. I am convincing the judges, the crowd, my opponent, that I am doing something, that I'm realistically in the ring, I'm doing otherwise, right? In the clinch, y'all may see that I'm clinching, but in the actual fight, I'm actually choking the other fighter. I'm cutting off their air. But it looks like a clinch. It looks like I'm holding. That's what a lot of people don't understand in the performance, right? When a referee says stop, break, and he pushes one fighter further back from the other fighter, it takes that other fighter, um, it takes a lot more effort in now figuring out how to get back to the same spot, get back in and be in the same range of the other fighter in order to hit them with the strike, right? People don't understand that. You're not seeing that in boxing. It's a science. MMA, they're going in there and they're banging each other out. They're pushing each other against that fence. They're rolling on the foot, right? There, Yes, there's a effort and a style there, but the method isn't. There's more madness in the method of boxing. That's why, Tony, a lot of MMA guys don't take their chances in boxing. They don't have that IQ, and they don't have the capacity to be as bad and as capable in that discipline, right? If I'm eating a bowl of spaghetti, right? Like it's like teaching a kid. I remember growing up, it would and it was a big growing up. I have a Jamaican background. So growing up, you had to learn to eat with a knife and fork at the dinner table. That was the discipline. That was the proper way, right? So to cut your food into little pieces with the side of your fork was considered like barbaric, was considered lower class. You learn to eat with a knife and fork, and sometimes you have to put your pinky out too, right? So when I came over here, because I grew up a little bit in Jamaica with my grandmother, and I am very old school Jamaican, okay? Um, and I saw kids that were eating with spoons and eating with cutting up their food with the fork and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, like they have no skill. I was learning to eat with knife and fork. They didn't even know how to use the knife and fork, right? I was a more skilled. I was seeing kids eat with their hands. That's the difference. MMA is where anything goes. You can use that knife, you can use the spoon, you could cut your food up with the fork. Boxing is using your skill of the knife and fork to break down that food on your dish and put it neatly in your mouth. It's a performance, if that matters. So I'm just saying that, Tony, but I hear you. I understand what you're saying, right? But, you know, that's the MMA boxing talk, right? And I'll go in and I'll debate with any MMA person. I actually trained at an MMA gym, tap out in was it what I think it was Milton, Ontario. Yeah. Right. And the MMA people, they ain't really nice to us boxers either, but I trained there. And they thought they shit was chocolate pudding. Okay. And telling me how great they are, or whatever. But I tell you this, right? I couldn't roll around. I took my chances, roll around in them, but couldn't end one of them. Even Elias, big ass, because he was, I forgot his last name, but Elias, he was like a big name MMA guy. Sugar, even that Sugar's weight, they couldn't go no rounds with Sugar boxing because they didn't have the skill and understanding. They don't have that fight thought process. They don't know how to execute a strategy standing up. And that's what it is. Um, and you have to have an IQ, a depth of IQ to do that. Miss Trifine comes in. MMA is a knockoff of boxing. MMA is, Miss Scott, MMA is it is a mixed martial arts. So it's a mixture of boxing, wrestling, jujitsu, taekwondo, all of these things. It's a mixture of all of that putting come together, which makes for a fight. And so then you have just a whole bunch of different styles that make interesting matchups in MMA. And so what Tony comes back, Tony says, where there's more capability because you can do more as an MMA fighter than as a boxer, right? You can't kick in boxing. We can't use our legs, but we do use our legs in a sense, because I'll step on your lead foot while you're moving and trip your ass up. I'll put my foot in between your stance so you can't move to the left and then hit you, right? I'll do things like that to jam you up in the ring. But a lot of people don't see those tactics. A lot of people don't understand how us fighters go because they think all we do is bounce around. But it's different when you have an IQ and you know how to apply these strategies and these skill sets in the ring. We perform and it makes us look like we're doing something. We're not doing what we're actually doing in the ring. Only the person in front of us can feel and know the havoc that we are wreaking upon each other in the ring. Now, lovely assistant, can you just give me the other image? We're gonna go to the topic tonight, right? We're talking about, okay, so this flyweight division, Yokasta, she's calling out these girls, but I'm sorry, she looks great. I mean, this girl is hot. Look at her, and I love her outfit. She's very marketable as a woman boxer in here. Very clean. Love her face. Body banging. Okay? But it's just not enough interest. Like you gonna have to step up to super flyweight, baby, and probably you're gonna have to try to come up and fight some of these girls in the hotter weight division in order to make a name for yourself, or you got to make your division hot by marketing. So let's hope De La Hoya markets these girls to where people start being interested in that minimum to super flyweight division. Okay. Um, Now people are talking about where Senicia Estrada is gonna go because she's a hot commodity. She ain't hot no more. Okay. People are saying run to Eddie Hearn. She's going to run to Eddie Hearn because now Eddie Hearn has a collection of women on his roster that he promotes and that he makes their fights. Eddie Hearn is not Eddie Hearn is the only promoter in women's boxing. Let's just call a thing, right? All of his girls are fighting each other. All of these women who are boxing each other or names are promoted by Eddie Hearn, with the exception of Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields do what she want to do. She's promoted by, y'all bring me, come on with his name, um and he allows her pretty much to run her own business, and he's not making her um he's not making her extend her marketability outside of what she can do in the States. She's the champ, but she's actually going to Savannah Marshall's backyard. She's actually going to Europe, which is Savannah Marshall's backyard, Europe, not the United States, to fight Savannah Marshall, which that's unheard of. You're the champ, they got to come to your backyard. Ask Holly Holmes. She ain't never left. She left Albuquerque, New Mexico one time. She's a legend. How you going to be a legend and you never left your backyard in a fight? How the hell are you a legend? Right? Legends go where the fights are. Legends step outside of their yard and fight, right? So I don't, like, Holly Holm is a great fighter, but she's not a legend. She had a great promoter in Lenny Fresquez or whatever. Okay, she had good money behind her, just like McCaskill will be probably put as a legend or whatever, but she has a great promoter behind her. That's why she has all the belts. Cecilia Brackes, they call her a legend. She never left her backyard, really. She, like, these are the things you have to consider when you're looking at women's boxing now. Miss Scott comes in. MMA is like street fight. Use the best tactics to win. like like I said, and this is what Tony is saying. MMA is, and Tony said it doesn't trans. MMA says boxing doesn't translate to the streets, right? Because he was a he had a pretty record, 32-0. That's a beautiful record as an amateur. Diggs BTW7 comes in talking about, hey, what's up, G? Hey, what's up, Diggs? Thanks for coming to the party. It's a party now. So Miss Scott Diggs, Tony's Reviews, Mike, or Vinny Ali. It's a vibe tonight. Thank y'all for coming in. Okay, yes, it's a party. We got the Misfits. Mike, guess what? Guess what we ain't got tonight though? Ain't no sirens tonight, Mike. Ain't no sirens tonight. Yeah, I'm in the burbs tonight having the show. But the party is still a vibe. Um, host coming, the host talking about LMAO, laughing my ass off, right? Me too, but it's a vibe. Yes. Yeah, Tony's review says the boxing doesn't translate to the streets, but listen, some you should have seen Sugar in action when she had some of this street action. It definitely translated for me, that's for sure. Um, Pretty record, 32-0, but he rather rough and tumble and do it MMA in the streets. Like I said, styles make fights. So Tony is a great amateur fighter, but when it comes to applying it outside of the ring or outside in the streets, he's more of an MMA style type of fighter. We just never know, right? You never know what kind of fighter you are until you have to fight. So that's what it is. Lovely assistant. Now we talking about um everyone's talking about running to Eddie Hearn because all the broads, Eddie Hearn got all the females, all the girls. Go to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn going to pick up Sinesia. It's becoming cringe now. It's cringe now. You can't have all the women's. It's starting to look pornish, if I can say that, right? And I'm gonna talk the talk, right? Like, let's keep it real, right? Porn's a good idea until you get your rocks off, and then you don't want to see that thing. You don't want to see that no more, right? So Eddie, it's good. Like we interested. We seeing the track star Katie. We seeing, your other girls that you got, but it's starting to become cringe now because you got all the girls fighting each other, and you're orchestrating these tomato can and illegitimate bullshit matches. It's starting to get porny out here. Oh, right. Let's get back to boxing. Let's do women's boxing, right? I want to see some of these, give some of these other women a chance, right? You can Eddie, let's give some other baddies a chance. Um like I said, Raquel Miller, she's out here collecting dust, right? She's a problem for the girls out here. Clarissa, come on now, right? Fight Raquel. Fight, like Savannah Marshall could fight Raquel Miller. Like Savannah Marshall tried to run the Mayweather in them, and it didn't work out for her, right? And she didn't. She was. I think she was even with Eddie. She was in bed with Eddie for a little bit, and it didn't work out for her, right? So now she's with Who is she with now, y'all? Um, she's not with Eddie Hearn. She's getting trained by Tyson Fury's daddy for sure. Y'all tell me who she's promoted Savannah Marshall is promoted by right now. But like it's starting it's going to get boring again. and we're gonna lose momentum in women's boxing, right? Get some of these get some of these broads that are not, you know, you can't make everyone's not going to be your star, Eddie. Everyone's not going to be your star, Oscar. Ben Shalom. Ben Shalom is the guy that promotes um Savannah Marshall. Hannah Rankin is on the down low now. She got to get some of the she got to get some of the heat off of her cuz she beat that poor girl uh into a coma, and I don't think that girl's got her faculties back. Who's the girl she got? Boxer is Ben Shalom. So that's the promotion. Um yeah, Hannah Rankins, you know, all of these girls that's buying belts out here, you know, they're buying the belts, but no, we got to want to see, people's got to want to see you guys fight. People's got to want to see the belts aren't the belts aren't in the interesting thing anymore. It's about the gal. It's about the gal. A baddie fighting another baddie. That's what it is. Now, I put a cute clip in for y'all because um I had to let Pretty Tony tell y'all. This is from an old school uh a old school clip that from one of the movies that I used to love to sneak and watch because my mom never used to let me watch these type of movies. But lovely assistant, can you play it? Can you play my
You
clip?
ain't no pimp. You're rest
Here go
haven
Pretty
for
Tony
hoes.
talking. What? It didn't
You
play.
ain't no pimp. You're
Come
rest
on
haven
now.
for hoes.
Oh man. All right. So this is it. If y'all know out here. It's a clip out here where Pretty Tony is talking to another pimp, and he said, "You ain't no pimp. You a rest haven for hoes." And that's what Eddie Hearn is starting to turn into. And these broads that are running to him and want to get in line with him, that's what they turning into. This is what I'm suggesting. And I'm a peace out on this. Y'all supposedly up here worth millions of dollars, y'all broads out here, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all can very well start getting together like we used to do and promote our own women's boxing cards. Madison Square Garden is just a venue like any other venue. We all pool together and pay for the spot and promote our own women's boxing cards. Agree, right? Agree with each other that yes, we're going to fight. I'm going to fight you at 3 minutes. I'm going to put my name on the line. I'm going to sign the contract. Let's bring women's boxing back to the women, right? Because it's starting to look like we run into these other promotions where now Shanice, you supposed to be you the baddest broad out here. You one of the baddest broads out here, and your promoter, your pimp, kicked you out the stable, and now you ain't got no home. How you gonna make that big money? You gonna run to Eddie Hearn? Huh? Rest haven for hoes. Yes, y'all, I might get flagged for talking like this, but y'all know sugar is the cold splash of water in the face of people that's trying to bandwagon on this women's boxing game. We are very interesting. I'll tell you the tea, right? But you got to know what's really happening in women's boxing. You got to know, right? Shanisha must not have been making everybody on the team happy. Hence the irreconcilable differences, right? As a woman in the game, that's what it that's what happens, right? I am not surprised at any story, and when the Sugar Memoirs hits the shelves, y'all will read some of these stories out here that I'm going to share about women in women's boxing. Okay? But it is what it is. It's an industry, it's my industry. I love it. It was some of the best times of my life, right? And I'm here on this platform to talk about it. I like that Tony's reviews, Miss Scott comes in, Omar comes in, Mike Orr's here talking about it, Diggs BTW7, okay, coming in. Who else we had tonight? Who else we had tonight? Um, Viniali, I love that y'all chime in tonight with sugar, right? Because this ain't sugar coated. I'm here to talk that real, right? And it may get grimy, it may get naughty, it may get nasty at times, but it is what it is. It's my show, it's our platform. Let's talk that talk. Now, like, subscribe, share this sugar. Okay? Come back with questions. We talked about fly by night fame. It is, right? The promoters are making these women into fly by night famous. But it is your work, it is your blood, it is who you are as a fighter that's going to bring you that fame. Sugar is who she is. I still got people that remember me and love me in the on the other side of the planet because of what I did in the ring, who I am. I performed. My skills paid the bills. I gave them something to remember me by. I didn't, don't nobody, no one has a story on Sugar besides she's a bad broad. She was that gal that was a bad bitch out there. Yes, and I say that with endearment. I was dangerous, right? And like a samurai, I knocked him out and I've been dropped too. But that's a part of the game. Like, subscribe, share some of this sugar. And we uh, trying to get Mike to talk that thing about the women's purses. It's hard to find that money and where it's going out here. Where are these millions of dollars that these broads are being net worth? Where is it? Where are they getting paid? Because it's not on the books. Mike can't find the receipts, and I'm going to have him on the show to talk about it. Okay, so until then, see you next Wednesday. Same time, may not be the same place, but you going to get this sugar. See you next time.